Hampton Park. We'll do Hampton Park.
Hampton Park is beautiful. Hampton Park is beautiful. All of the courses in Charlotte
down Sunday and Monday.
Nice.
Down there.
I wish I could play that
Getting
game.
the heads up the next step.
It's going to be
Start, right, we're everybody back in?
Yeah.
Bring the meeting back to order here, talk about old business. We already covered the tournament donations, thank you Dave, to Off Day and Downers Players Cup. That's been taken care of. Chi, is there any further information on the Boy Scout Clinic, or is that kind of in a freeze mode right now?
Hey, yeah, Ricky has not sent me
That's okay.
anything.
That's okay.
But
He showed interest, and that's a positive.
well, he did join the club on Facebook. So I told him to do it and post on there, and we would, organize it and help him do it. But that's as far as it's gotten.
That's fine. Just wrapping up holly tree baskets. Thanks everyone that came out. That was wonderful. We actually made an impact on the community, a very positive impact, which will come back in spades for us. I'm sure of that. And that business is now officially taken care of. Tim Chapman, I sent another email out to him to touch base with him, but obviously this is his busy time. I haven't heard anything back from him.
Is that the guy from New York?
That's the guy from New York. So, I'll send him another one after I kind of sit down and work out the contract. That way we've actually got something to deal with, money-wise, and maybe it won't be $500. Maybe we can get $200 out of him or something. Paige Snow, our contact from Good Vibes Brew, I contacted him. He sent me another email with about 7 or 8 questions on it, specific questions about last year's tournament, about the number of people, number of locals, what was the purse. He also asked me how many members we had, and I couldn't answer him. I told him I gave him a rough number, but obviously he needs to know what type of manpower he's looking at, and so do we. So that membership list is something that we'll kind of try to put together. Chi, you had put together a spreadsheet, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Troy has the most recent version of it.
Good. I want to look at that. We may need to add a column to that or something for active/inactive. We also will use that to keep track of people that are meeting the attendance policy and that sort of thing as well. And our club charities list. I got a good list of about 6 or 7 or 8 from last time. And I just want to know if anyone had any more charities that they wanted me to drop on the list. And if not, then we'll look at what we got from last month, and we will start next year with our monthlies, donating a little bit of money to these charities.
We did submit $50 to Meg's March, which was this past Saturday. So we've got a shirt, which I guess is fine. But they were very appreciative. We did we did meet the $3,000 goal that they had set. So they did meet the $3,000 goal. So
so it was $25 from the monthly, and then the club matched the $25.
It was 21, and then the club matched it, and then I made it up to 50.
And did you take that money out of the cash box?
The $21, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What about the matching part?
No, I did that.
So
the matching.
Yeah, the matching part.
No, I.
So we owe you money.
No,
Yeah.
no, it was $21 from the members.
Yep.
And then the club matched the 21 and made it 42.
Okay, so you
and
took
then I
the
just
21.
put an additional.
You took the 21 out of the cash box.
Yes,
Or-
which is
He brought that up earlier.
right, which is
Okay.
what. Yeah.
So
And then I
$21.
put
Exactly.
$8.
Dave needs that info. He needs the numbers. So
That's cool.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
got it. I'm good. I've got it right now.
Yeah, so 21
21.
minus the cash box.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
as far as our official policy on how we want to conduct those charities next year, well, I think we should come up with I love what you're doing. It's a simple formula. Let's just come up with a maximum number that will match, I guess, so that we have some sort of guide. Things don't get out of hand.
Well, the only reason that I asked the club to match it is because we had so much merchandise, and I had invested also, but we only had 20 people show up for the monthly.
Mm-hmm.
So there was probably almost $50 worth of merchandise. $21 was going towards it. So that's the only reason I was hoping that we could just match it.
I think
so
the
we
club
could
should
get
match
at
it.
least.
I think the club should match it, no problem.
Well, we shouldn't have, and this was my fault. I usually, when I did it before, it was $2 to sign up for it. But this time I figured since I was only given one disc, that it should just be $1, which, you know, it really should have been $2. Then it would have been $42 if we matched that. Then it would have been awesome. But I think if we decide as a club to do it again, it needs to go back to $2 because people keep donating, and this CTP for the donation just gets huge.
Right.
And for $2 for a chance to get $50 worth of CTP merchandise. I mean, that's not bad. You know, everybody signed up for the $1, whereas if it had been $2, they probably all still would have signed up because Bo donated, I donated, we had the PPD stuff that Scuba Steve donated. We had a ton of stuff. People just kept giving it in.
Donated the carabiner. There was 2 discs.
Yeah,
the carabiner,
Deacon did the
2 water
carabiner.
bottles.
Yeah, 2 water bottles, 2 discs. I mean, it was well over $50 worth of merchandise.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, if the club wants to continue to do it, I think we just need to bump it up to $2 for people that want to participate.
Okay.
I don't necessarily know if the club wants to or needs to match it or not, but
I don't
out
think
there.
we have to.
I don't think so
No.
either. If
Okay, that's fine. And we will, at the next meeting, we will kind of put that down as our procedure, and we'll go with it for the next year and see how it works out.
Okay, is it okay if I go ahead and do
Yes.
another for Saturday?
Yeah, raise as much money as you want.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think that's a great thing. Just with
Yeah.
the club match, we'll talk about that next month.
Yes, the club match will
Okay.
figure that out. Beautiful.
Okay.
Thank you, Chief. New business. 2014 North Carolina Point Series. Now, Dave, have we been participating in that of recent, or that kind of fell off for a while? I know there wasn't really anyone running it for a few years, maybe.
No.
We've always participated in it. Okay,
Absolutely.
wonderful. So, then we'll do that again this year for
Oh,
our
all right.
Azalea tournaments. The
And
2000
you talked to Tizzle about that?
we've been back and forth
Good.
with email.
Yeah.
And I've got another thing from him too that is related to that. In fact, I'll just go ahead and jump to that right now. He sent me an email talking about the 2014 point series as well as our 2014 Azalea tournaments. And Robert Leonard is the North Carolina
State coordinator.
state coordinator. And what he's trying to do is make everybody's job easy and keep things rolling. And he's trying to implement a new procedure whereas we basically keep the same dates from year to year with our tournament so that the entire PDGA of America doesn't have such a tough time fitting everybody in. Meaning that next year we would basically do our tournaments on the same weekends that we did them last year.
We're not going to be able to do that this year, though.
Okay, well, that's okay. Tell me why.
The 20th is Easter Sunday.
That's a good reason not to.
Way to look ahead.
Yeah.
Way to look ahead.
That's what I do. So I would suggest the great thing is there's several weekends close that there's open. The last weekend in April, which would be I guess the 26th and 7th, that's probably going to be the Carolina Clash in Charlotte, and I don't know that we want to go up against that tournament. There is an open weekend. There was an open weekend this year, the last weekend of March. So we could do 2 weekends. Now it would be 2 weekends in a row, which that's a lot of work. But I think with this kind of manpower, we could pull it off. Now, unfortunately, it would push us into March. And then next year, I would like to go. What Tizzle's trying to do is, guys, Robert Leonard. There's a tournament in North Carolina every weekend, and PDGA guidelines stipulate that you cannot run a B tier within X amount of miles of another B tier in anywhere. And we could fall into South Carolina if there was one in Myrtle Beach. We have to be X amount of miles away from a certain tier to have that weekend available to us. So next year I would love to go back to those same weekends in April. So what it is basically the first week in April hopefully will be our tournament, whether it be Am or Pro. The second weekend probably will be the Dogwood Crosstown Classic in Raleigh. The third weekend is Easter Sunday, which I doubt anybody will try and run a tournament that weekend. And then the last weekend should be, and ask Robert Leonard should know this, the Carolina Clash in Charlotte.
what about the actual Azalea Festival
Now
itself?
that's another thing. I don't understand. I'm sorry. The second weekend is the Azalea Festival. Third weekend is Easter Sunday. And I don't know. I mean, I understand. I think the main reason why we avoided that was hotels, correct? traveling people being able to get hotels.
True. I don't know how many people actually stay though.
I don't
in people's
either.
houses.
I don't
You might have a better read on
I mean,
that.
I pack my house, and
Yeah, it
she
seems
packs
like-
his house, and we all do. I don't know that we have to avoid
I don't think that would be an issue.
the. I mean, unless you guys really want to go to the Azalea
I don't
Festival.
see it as an issue.
Taylor Swift, is she coming again?
Unless you guys really. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jeff. I'm sorry.
The hotels increase the cost for Azalea
That's
Festival.
true. That's true, and they're booked solid. But I don't know that that one issue is a reason not to hold a
I don't
tournament.
think so. I think it was convenient last year and it worked out perfectly. But
We've always, since I've been running it, I've always avoided I've avoided it like the plague. Because, like I said, it's going to be tough to get hotel rooms. But that's really the only reason. And I
What
don't-
about travel, Dave, and does the county use that park for anything else though? I
Um,
don't know if they do or not.
I don't think they
know
do.
traffic.
That's a great idea. I mean, it's a
Seems like
great
they got
point.
friggin'
Cuba Craze,
Somebody's
Hanover.
always
Yeah.
getting some queen somewhere.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. I don't know that they've ever used Castle Hayne Park for anything for
Bring it
the
to my
Azalea
house,
Festival.
it's okay.
Not to my knowledge. That would be something to talk about on the 15th in your meeting.
No.
But I did want to point out that the 20th is Easter Sunday, and I would suggest not running a
Okay.
disc golf tournament on Easter weekend.
My suggestion would be that if we're gonna do it on, the same weekend as Azalea, do the pro on that weekend, because there's not as many people
Mhm.
playing the pro as there is the AM.
Easier for us to put people up.
All those people, right.
I didn't hear of anybody that actually
You're
stayed in the
talking about
hotel.
I mean, AMs. I know in AMs we definitely had a couple
Oh,
weekends.
exactly. The second weekend.
Right, that would be, if you're gonna do a tournament on the same weekend as the Azalea Festival,
Do the AMs.
do the pro,
Do the
because there's
pros.
less people playing the pro.
And honestly, as a club, it would behoove us immensely to hold the amateur first and the pro 2nd. The reason that I say that is that you're not going to make a penny of money on the professional tournament. You're not going to make nothing. You're going to spend money on the pro. And it has, from a financial standpoint, the more successful our amateur tournament is, the more successful our pro tournament will be.
Okay.
So that's just a suggestion. I would run, if possible, I would run the AM first and the pro second.
Perfect sense.
Okay, so I'm going to go to Robert and I'm going to say, no, we need to run the last weekend of March and the first weekend of April.
I like that. If we can make that happen this year, and then let him know that next year, we're going to be battling Easter. Easter
Yeah.
moves all over Hanover. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
But we can. But the thing is, there's a website out there. You can just type in like Easter weekend, and it's already planned out for like the next 20 years.
I just looked.
Did you?
Got the right.
When is it in 2015?
I didn't say it.
Yeah, it's going.
I can pull it back up.
So Easter weekend willing, we would like to go back to the traditional
Yes.
1st and 3rd of April in 2015.
Okay.
Easter's based on lunar calendar, not solar calendar.
You look at the Mayan calendar?
Hang on there.
Oh, wait, it's over.
It's
What year did you want?
15. 015.
2015, it'll be April 5th.
Ah! Daggone it, man. We're getting rooked.
2016, March 27th.
They see now we're good. So 16 on, we're probably all right.
It's Tiny here.
Tiny's right there.
Hey, buddy.
I didn't see you.
Hard to miss.
He's behind him.
That's why you let us know.
Give us the lowdown on the club swap meet fundraiser and how that's going to work.
I basically just wanted a way to see what y'all got. You see what I got. This. Well, I wasn't necessarily planning on a fundraiser. It's basically just what it is, a swap meet.
Just associate.
Yeah, the term fundraiser, I didn't understand that.
Bring out what you
We
have.
just want to bring out what you got,
Yeah.
swap and
Just trade and
Yeah.
sell and
trade and
I
sell.
basically have, I don't know, probably all of y'all have like 3 boxes. I mean, I haven't made it to the PVC shrine yet, but
Somehow or another, I got the impression that there was going to be some sort of.
and if it's successful,
Money
I mean,
generated.
maybe down the road we can do.
I think it's worth
We
it.
still do that. We bring the club store out and take the proceeds from club sales.
That's true. And you can
I
trade.
mean, it's gonna be the monthly, so the club store's gonna be there.
Okay.
Yeah, but we can do proceeds from club sales to a charity.
I just don't like. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
I
just don't like
wouldn't
something
get
like this.
that involved. I just wanted something that
Okay.
Dave had a good point about that a long time ago. I don't remember when I asked him. The thing with selling club discs is you're really kind of going against our sponsors. All of our sponsors sell discs, and at some point you can go. It could become a bad thing. I don't know that anybody's going to care about doing it once a year for a thing.
Right.
I think that's a very good point he had. That's probably something we should really consider before we cross that line, because we need those guys to sponsor our games.
Right, and that's a good idea. So how about if you think that you're gonna be, you got 100 members and you order 200 discs and actually number them, or put the year on it.
How about just invite them to come out and bring their own table and sell their own stuff?
Still give away discs at the month.
I've invited every vendor that's ever sponsored us to come out every tournament we've ever held, and they're just not going to.
Cape
Well,
Fear?
Play It Again's come out to the Azalea, and it's literally been they sell like 3 discs. It was a total waste of their time.
Right.
Right.
Well, AMs are going to try to win theirs.
That's right. That's exactly right. Pros don't need
It's
any
not really
discs.
set up for them.
Yeah.
Well, the only people, from my understanding, that actually can do that are us, the club. I mean, you cannot, as a vendor, just show up and start selling stuff at the park.
Right.
You have to have a permit.
Permits. Yep.
Dynamic Disc did.
They did.
Or not done.
It was dynamic. It was dynamic. They did.
Dynamic Sunset.
And I mean, that's one of those things that I like what Tiny's got going on. We can work a way to fundraise next time. I think it should just be a social aspect this time. And I think we should just leave the club store out of it. Like,
If you
oh,
want to bring
Into
a box of
something
stuff you don't
more-
want to throw,
yeah. All right.
you know, or you
I'm gonna be
got
there,
some
bud.
collector stuff you want to get rid
I'm
of.
gonna be there, but I got stuff.
Sure did.
You got anything
Stuff
white,
too.
baby?
I want white stuff.
You guys need anything white? Come see
Dave's
me.
got it.
Okay, great. Then Drew, you're in charge of that. Make sure it
Absolutely.
happens.
Absolutely.
We'll see how it happens, and if it grows into something better, then we'll go with it.
It's just a seed, baby.
I'm going to skip the disc golf commercial for the government TV thing. That's something that I think it's pretty easy to do. We'll probably handle that next year. The 2014 bag tags, I guess we should probably go ahead and reorder those over the next 30 days at some
Sure.
point. Who normally handles that, Dave?
Paragon. Yeah, that's who we got them from last time. Paragon Disc Sports. I'll send you the information. They're great guys to work with.
Okay.
I make a motion that we make Otis the official Hanover County mascot, and we put him on the tags.
Who called him an ugly dog? I don't like that at all.
That's
crap.
That's Dale Winters down in Brunswick County.
Yeah, well, I'm
He's
going
just
to Brunswick
mad.
County
He's
this
ugly.
weekend.
All right, the Arrowhead scorecard, Kyle's got that under control. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just numbers and what the whole number is and where to put your score.
Yeah.
We'll work on something more detailed with actual distances next year. Wonderful.
Okay, so tell me if I'm jumping ahead, Mike. So where are we with the workday and the website? Did we ever decide anything?
We did
on
not
either one of
actually
those?
set a date, and
Okay.
what I'm going to do after we're actually getting ready to get to the very last thing, committee volunteers.
Okay.
I think we're going to try to get everybody on the committee they feel comfortable with,
Okay.
and then we'll put the work day together. And don't let me forget either one of those.
Okay. You got it. No. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to jump ahead.
Yeah. Skip selling local business ads on YouTube. Website updates were addressed earlier. Obviously, everyone has concerns about that. Whenever we get the membership committee together, we'll be able to get the member list, and then we'll be able to move forward with some other things like that. I am going to have to sit down and take a serious look at the website over the next couple weeks and put together exactly what we need to do to get it up to shape, because it's probably 4 or 5 things on there.
It's real basics. I mean, literally, like updating the homepage is going to take 30 seconds. Man, it's not all you're doing is editing text. You're just saying the next meeting is, here's the address, and then you're creating a hyperlink to the map to that person's house. The workday, just whenever we decide what day it is, say the workday is this date. Please bring these things. This is what we're going to do. It's nothing but text.
Doubles, all that, I'll do it.
Doubles. I mean, we're not even having doubles, so we can just wipe that clean. You know.
Okay.
The biggest time concern is going to be updating the points and creating the tables for the scores. That's going to take some time if somebody's not familiar with it. And I'll volunteer. I hate doing it. I've been doing it for 5 years. I'll do it. I'll update the last 2 months. I'll create the tables, put the scores up, and I'll update the points.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I guess if we can kind of get through this year on one leg,
Well,
whatever.
all it is somebody needs to just say, I'll do it. I mean, if we've got a web guru, give them the access to the FTP and let them do it. It's, like I
Yeah.
said, it's not rocket science and it only takes a few seconds. Just all they need is access to the FTP site.
All right, let's
And some counting.
I mean, I don't even know anything about websites now.
let's quickly. Did everyone bring their printout of the bylaws?
I got mine.
Who does not have a printout of the bylaws?
Man, that's pretty.
I didn't bring it.
I don't print out, but I read them.
That's pretty.
Well, we're not gonna really drill anything into the ground tonight. I'd like to quickly read over the membership
That's the
section.
first edition should be too. That's nice. Very nice.
There's been some subtle changes in other sections, but the membership section, there was some confusing wording and some other stuff, and a lot of people had input. I'm going to read through it real carefully. I've reorganized it. I think it's much more easy to understand. And if I left anything out or something's confusing, maybe we can bring it up right now. And don't forget, all of you can take the time over the next month to look at any of this information and word it how you would like to see it worded and email it to me. I mean, we don't necessarily have to wait till meetings to take suggestions for this stuff. Okay, membership general, A. Membership's open to all individuals for a one-time fee of $20. B. Thereafter, a 10-year yearly renewal fee is required to maintain active status. C. Membership is for the lifetime of the individual, regardless of active-inactive status. D. New members shall be issued a custom stamped disc and an official club bag tag. They will also be assigned an official member number and added to the archives. E. Yearly renewals will be issued one bag tag for the fiscal year for a fee of $10. Number 2, membership participation. Active status. This is basically your duties as an active member and your responsibilities. Active members are allowed to participate in discussions, introduce motions, and vote. Number 2, active members must hold an office or participate in a committee. Number 3, active members must meet the requirements of the attendance policy. Number 4, yearly dues of $10 must be paid to maintain uninterrupted active status. And number 5, new members are automatically deemed active until they fail to meet the above criteria, at which point they will assume inactive status. Number B, inactive members may participate in meetings but do not have the right to introduce motions or vote. Number 2, inactive members cannot hold an office or committee position. Number 3, any member who is not current in their dues is considered inactive. Number 4, an inactive member that is not in violation of the attendance policy or on suspension may become active by paying the $10 yearly renewal fee. Attendance policy. This is where we had a lot of discussion last month. A. Active members are allowed 5 excused absences per fiscal year. An active member must submit a written explanation of his or her absences, or the absences are considered unexcused. After 3 unexcused absences, a member automatically becomes inactive. An inactive member may appeal his status to the club and be reinstated by a majority vote at a regular club meeting.
And paying $10 more.
No, I didn't put that in there.
No, that's good. He covered it in 4. He said an inactive member that is not in violation of the attendance policy or
Yes.
suspension may become active by paying $10.
Some of the details.
So there's two ways to become inactive: not paying your $10 or not meeting the attendance policy.
That's right.
There you go.
I think it's much simpler. I hope I took a lot of the confusion out. Some of the definitions of some of the things are in different sections, but I did not want to get wordy, and I didn't want to end up with 10 pages.
The way you worded this sounds like I can miss 8 meetings.
You can.
I can miss 5 excused and 3 unexcused.
But then you have to write.
You're
You have to
allowed
write
a
a letter down.
maximum of 5 meetings, 5 misses.
That needs to be a little more clear than in the writing.
You're allowed 5 excused absences,
And
meaning
then
that
it
if
just
you,
says, it doesn't say, and 5 total with excused, it says 5 excused and 3 unexcused.
Again, that's why we're here, just
Yeah, just
reword it where
reword it a little bit.
you're allowed a maximum of 5 excused and 3 unexcused. You can word it to where it says get maximum in there.
Yeah, this,
I'm sorry, tell me how you think it should be worded.
well, active members are allowed to miss 5, or allowed 5 absences, and only 3 can be unexcused. or something like that.
But I'm not sure I understand what's confusing about active members are allowed 5 excused absences. What is
Because it could be 8. The way it reads, Boz, right now, is I could miss 5 meetings in a row and come up with a note, which I want to go back to that, but.
Yeah.
And then I could miss 3 more and call them unexcused. So I could have 7, but I've got 2 unexcused and I've got 5 excused. I'm not in violation of anything yet. You need to put maximum 5. I deal with rules a lot.
Well, would it be, but see, my thing is if you miss 5,
5 of them are excused.
you're excused.
So then I got 3 more that are unexcused. So I can miss 8 meetings and I haven't messed up per your way it's written. I haven't broke the rule yet.
How much vacation time do we get?
Once you miss that,
And
once you miss that 5th excused, even if it's an excused absence, once you go past that 5th,
I understand that's what you meant to say. It's
Yeah,
just
the
not what it
meaning's
said.
clear, the
Yeah.
I
wording's
understand
off.
what you meant to say. He's saying you might want to say,
Just
hey,
clean it up a
you
little
can miss, the most you could have is 5 absences, excused or unexcused. I personally would say, forget about having somebody bring a note and just come up with a number because they were all grown ups to me. This is a hobby.
so you're
Saying,
saying,
what are you gonna do with their note? You don't just lie. That's impossible.
Does it go to their personal file?
I'm not bringing anybody near notes.
My dog ate my homework.
And I don't solve the problem. Come up and say, why don't you just say 5? That's what you're saying. Let's just say 5.
Whether it's written or not.
Excused or not.
so you're saying
5.
active members,
Whether you,
for me.
no written.
active members are allowed a maximum of 5 absences.
There you go.
I think that-
Members are allowed a maximum of 5 absences if you want to do that.
Per
Then
year.
you become inactive.
Per year.
Yeah.
There you go.
So if we've got 12 meetings in a year, you gotta get 7 of them to be considered an active member.
That's right.
But forget about notes and all that other crap, because that's
Oh, the town wants to know.
actually.
Crap.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You have to leave
So
it
you're
around.
saying that I should just take out the line after 3 unexcused absences?
Completely, it's 5 absences total, that's the number.
I would imagine if somebody's into it enough, even as a hobby, that they're gonna be here more than 62% of the year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, missing 5 of them, you're really not that interested in, you know, being an active member anyway.
Okay.
I think that'll work. Well, if that's the only issue that you guys see with that section, we'll let it ride for another 30 days, and please, you know, like I said, go in and look at the whole thing. And then on the next meeting, we'll try to go ahead and put it in as the official bylaws. And at any point in time, we can still go back and change them if we feel the need. It's not, you know.
Yeah.
Living dog.
I'm sorry, I don't have a copy in front of me, but does it say like the date? Does it say fiscal year? Does it say January, December, or 5 is what?
Yeah, there's a definition that all terms, the club fiscal year is from January 1st
Okay, so
to January, or December 31st. Calendar year.
Okay.
And I've got in here per fiscal year, and that's, our definition is that. And I think that will do it. There's a couple other little things in here that I added, but they're not, nothing crucial, I don't think. Okay.